Yeah, welcome back to my channel today, and what I'll be teaching today is how to shade smoothly and realistically without making use of any blending tool. All that you need are just your pencils, and the pencils that I will be making use today, I'll be making use of 5 pencils. First the F grade, then the 2B, the 3B, the 4B, and then my General's charcoal soft pencil. So you will just have to be patient when you want to do something like this, because now that you're not using any blending tool, you just have to be patient and then let your eyes be fixed on your drawing as well as on your reference picture. So let's dive right in, but before then, do want to subscribe to this channel, and if you have not shared this channel with others, do well to share once you have subscribed. Thank you very much. So let's go. So the first thing you have to do, as you can see here, is I'm making use of my F grade pencil for the first layer, which needs to be very smooth since I will not be blending. Once I'm able to make the first layer smooth, it makes it easier for other layers to be added also smoothly. So the most important way you have to be more patient is on the first layer. Be very patient with it so that you can lay a very good foundation for other layers that will be added later. Once you're done with that, I come in with my 2B pencil. And you see what I'm trying to do first is to ensure that I'm able to know where each tone starts and ends. Don't forget you're working with a reference picture, so you should take good notes of your reference picture. So, I've mentioned the common shading techniques in one of my videos which I posted earlier, and you see that in this particular drawing I'm making use of various shading techniques, which includes the cross arching, and then the circularism method. So in this case, you can see I'm making use of circularism, and I mentioned that you can use as many methods as possible on just a single drawing. So I come in with my 3B now. Look at that, to add more shades, more layers to what is there already. Don't forget, I always say keep an eye on your reference picture, and you don't need to shade with pressure. Just allow the pencil to do its work smoothly, and you'll be glad at the result that you get. Now this is the 4B. And you see that in this case I'm not just making use of lines, I'm shading around the edge of the nose to bring out the shape instead of just making use of lines and then demarcating it. No, you shouldn't do that. Just make use of shades around the edges of the nose too. So here comes my 3B pencil, and it's just add the next layer as it is on my reference picture. When you are doing something like this, you want to ensure that your pencils are well sharpened, since you want it smooth, and at the same time you don't want to make use of any blending tool. So ensure that your pencils are well sharpened, and if along the line as you continue drawing the pencil gets blunt, don't be stingy to yourself. Just make sure you take your blade or your sharpener and then you sharpen the pencil before you get back to work. And yes, if you have been following through, you will have seen the order in which I'm making use of my pencils. I go first with my F pencil, then to the 2B grade, 3B, and then the 4B, depending on how dark the part I'm shading is. The lightest part, F and 2B, will do. The mid-tone, a bit of 3B, don't forget. You don't need to add pressure to your pencil. And then the darkest parts on the point I'm shading, the 4B pencil will do that. So keep that in mind. Don't put pressure on your pencil that, oh, you want to make use of your 2B to get the dark tone. No, don't do that. Now you can see this is my 4B. Here again, using it to shade the edge of the nose around that part. Don't make use of lines. I keep saying that, because when you make use of lines and then at the end the lines in your work will only make it more of a cartoon than a realistic portrait. So you can see that the part I left earlier that was a bit separated from the others, I'm trying to close it in now, so that it's not just strictly separated but it fades in, so that the dark part and the light part they fade into each other instead of just having it demarcated like, okay, this is the dark part, this is the light part. So that is what I just finished doing, and then I come in with my general charcoal pencil to shape the dark parts of the whole of the nose. So moving on to another part, now that we are done with the nose in a bit, so come in again in order, the F grade of pencil first to create the foundation, then the higher grades as you go on, the 2B, 3B, 4B. And if you are working on a reference picture that the 4B won't go as dark as you want, you know your graphite set of pencil as the 5B, the 6B, the 7B, and the 8B, and so on like that. So For you not to add pressure on a particular grade of pencil in shading, all you have to do is that you have variety of grades so that they come in handy whenever you need each of them. Well, you find out that I told you at the beginning of the video that you need patience. You can see that within the few minutes you spent so far what you've been able to achieve, but it all pays off at last when you finish your work and you're happy with the results you get, instead of rushing and then you get something not good. So as an artist, you must learn patience, and this is one of the ways you can. When you learn the basics of good shading, instead of depending on blending stone, cutting board, or whatever blending tool that you use. Those things are good, yes, but if you find yourself relying so much on them and you now lack the skill of shading well, of shading right, then that is something you should look into, and then learn good shading. And then even when you blend, you will see the results, you see the difference. When you shade like this and your shading is smooth, by the time you blend, you will not need to put pressure on whatever blending material you are using. Even with your soft brush, you can just move over the surface just lightly and you'll find out that yes, it's all so smooth already. Make use of the right shading techniques. Make use of the right shading process of layering. Don't rush into making a dark part just dark in 1 or 2 layers. No, go in layers. The more you're able to build up your tone in layers, the smoother it gets, the smoother you have it to be, instead of just shading a dark place at once and then you think you're done. No, go in layers. No matter how long it will take you, it's better late and produces a good result than you hurrying and then the result is all food to the eye, it's all food to our sight. So keep enjoying the video. So now let's move on to the dark part. You may be wondering, how do we shade the dark part like this with our charcoal pencils and then have it also smooth? So you will learn that in a jiffy. Still, you have to layer first with your F-grade pencil. You already know the reason. To have a good and smooth foundation for other layers. And then after your F-grade, be coming with your 2B. Now in this case, I'm not going with my 3B and 4B, because by the time you layer so much, this is my 2B coming in now. By the time you layer your graphite so much and then you want to bring in your charcoal, it's sometimes hard for the charcoal to write over the graphite. So you can't use the charcoal once you have layered so much of graphite on that particular point. So it's better you just stop at either your 2B or 3B. It's advisable your 2B, and then you come in with the charcoal you want to use. Usually your generous charcoal, which is the basic one that writes in quotes, let me use it that way, on graphite. Others will not really release their particles once graphite is layered first, but with generous charcoal you can layer first with your graphite pencils, and after that you come in with your generous charcoal. So coming in with my generous charcoal, the soft grade now, and then after doing that, pardon me, my camera went off at that point, but it's still basically the same shape, the same technique. So what you do now, because your charcoal pencil will not become as smooth as the graphite, so what I do here is to in quote blend with my 4B graphite pencil. So you have to be patient with it for it to be smooth. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.